Welcome. As you work your way through this interactive module, you will learn about one form of academic dishonesty, plagiarism. You will discover what is plagiarism, common forms of plagiarism, what is common knowledge, and common myths regarding plagiarism. Plagiarism is a concept with which many of you may be familiar. It can seem scary because of the possible consequences. It is important to understand fully what plagiarism is and the most common examples of plagiarism in academia. This module should help you to fully understand what plagiarism is and how you can work to prevent it. Plagiarism is one form of academic dishonesty. It is scary because of the possible consequences and because many students lack a good understanding of what plagiarism is all about and how it can be avoided. Plagiarism can be intentional or accidental. Even though students don't mean to commit plagiarism or are not aware that they are plagiarizing, it is not excusable and is still considered plagiarism. "I didn't know" is not a viable excuse for plagiarism. Every so often, plagiarism becomes a major news story. CBC reports, an Alberta man has admitted that a book he wrote about his experiences in the Vietnam War is all a lie. Dennis Serendi of Nanton placed an advertisement in the May 27th edition of the Nanton News, saying he never served in Vietnam and that much of the material in his 2014 self-published book was stolen from a memoir written more than 30 years ago. Here are a few of the comments posted by readers of this article. One wrote, "Another low for humans, willing to plagiarize work of someone who put his life on the line just to get a quick profit." And another, "To insinuate that it's all right to impersonate a veteran and imply one served when one didn't is not only a criminal offense in this country, but a slur to the past, present, and future members of our military forces." Here is the definition of plagiarism from the University of Calgary calendar. Plagiarism involves submitting or presenting work as if it were the student's own work, when it is not. Any ideas or materials taken from another source, written, electronic, or oral, must be fully and formally acknowledged. Academic dishonesty is treated seriously at the University of Calgary. As stated in the academic calendar, a single offense of cheating, plagiarism, or other academic misconduct on term work, tests, or final examinations, etc., may lead to disciplinary probation or a student's suspension or expulsion from the faculty by the dean, if it is determined that the offense warrants such action. Consequences for academic dishonesty range from 0 on your assignment to expulsion from the faculty. The most common forms of plagiarism include using ideas or material from others without acknowledgement of the original author, omitting quotation marks for direct quotations, failing to include in-text citations, paraphrasing too closely, self-plagiarism. It is hard to understand that you could plagiarize yourself, but reusing your own work in another assignment is a form of plagiarism. We will discuss this in more detail later in this module. And submitting or presenting work that was done by another individual. Why do we use citations when writing in the educational environment? Crediting the work of other scholars is an integral part of academic cultural practice. It is a culture of mutual respect, honesty, and collaboration. Citations in your work demonstrate the initiative that you have taken to conduct research and increase your knowledge and understanding of the information that is available on your topic. Incorporating supportive material in your work and citing it correctly allows you to build on the authoritative work of the experts you are citing. In other words, it enhances the credibility and reliability of your work to your audience. And by including references to other work on your topic, you are creating a roadmap that connects your readers to additional scholarly information in this field of study. You may have heard the term common knowledge. The only source material that you can use in an essay without attribution is material that is considered common knowledge and is therefore not attributable to one source. Common knowledge is information generally known to an educated reader, such as widely known facts, dates, or ideas. Common knowledge may also include information that is well known among your peers or within your discipline. Make sure you know your audience. What is common knowledge in one discipline may not be in another. Here are some examples of common knowledge. Canada has 2 official languages, English and French. Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. And commonly known information in the business discipline includes ideas like marketing is an important part of the entrepreneurial process. Entrepreneurship is the development of a new business venture. There are some common myths surrounding the issue of plagiarism and what constitutes plagiarism. Here are a few of them. I don't need to worry about plagiarism because I cited sources. I can change words to synonyms and I won't need to worry about plagiarism. I can't plagiarize because I wrote it in the first place. Plagiarism is hard to prove. I won't get caught. I have provided the web addresses for my sources. That's adequate citation. Let's examine these myths. Myth number 1. I don't need to worry about plagiarism because I cited sources. Did you cite all the information that came from other sources, even if you didn't copy and paste directly from those sources? This brings up the concept of paraphrasing versus quoting directly from a source. Paraphrasing involves using information from another source and rephrasing it in your own words. It requires an in-text citation, including the source of the information, and a corresponding entry in the references list that provides full information about the source. Quotation involves copying the information directly from the source without paraphrasing. Directly quoted information must be placed inside quotation marks, and, like paraphrased material, it requires an in-text citation and a corresponding entry in the references list. For directly quoted material, the in-text citation must include the page number for print sources or the paragraph number for electronic sources. Here is an example to illustrate the difference between paraphrasing and quoting. Both of the examples you will see come from an article by McNaughton. In the first example, the exact wording from the original article has been copied and pasted into a paper. The writer has acknowledged that this is a direct quote from the original source by using quotation marks and providing the page number as part of the in-text citation. In the second example, the writer has read the article and paraphrased the concept in his or her own words. The writer has still acknowledged the original source of the information using an in-text citation. Myth number 2. I can change words to synonyms and I won't need to worry about plagiarism. It's pretty easy to Google synonyms. Change a few words in a sentence or paragraph and think you have done a sufficient job of paraphrasing. But that is not so. Simply changing a few words is not acceptable paraphrasing. Watch out for using the same words and using the same sentence structure and the same order of ideas. To illustrate, let's take a look at an example. Here is the original wording taken directly from the source. In 1988, the dominant hair care model in China involved using a bar of soap for cleansing both hair and body. There was neither a separate product category nor concept of using a separate product specially formulated for hair. This untapped market required innovative thinking and practice to solve the problem of introducing a new way to clean hair. This is not an acceptable paraphrase of the paragraph we just read. Not only have many of the same words been used, but the sentence structure and order of ideas is exactly the same as the original. This is a much more acceptable paraphrase. Very few of the words are the same as the original, and the sentence structure and order of ideas have been changed. Myth number 3. I can't plagiarize because I wrote it in the first place. Using part or all of a previously completed essay in a new assignment and not acknowledging that the material came from your own previous work is self-plagiarism. Always discuss with your professor before incorporating previous work into new projects and papers. And always provide an in-text citation and reference list entry for this work, as you would any other source. You may cite a previously completed paper as an unpublished manuscript. Myth number 4. Plagiarism is hard to prove. I won't get caught. New and very sophisticated software tools and the wonderful world of Google have facilitated the identification of plagiarized information. Often it is as easy as copying and pasting a sentence into Google, and the original source pops up. Your instructors are always alert to changes in writing style, vocabulary, grammar, etc. These are all red flags that the content may not be the work of the student. Myth number 5. I have provided the web addresses for my sources. That's adequate for my reference list. Academic citation involves providing full reference information for the sources you have cited. This includes author, publication date, title, source, and publisher or retrieval information.